Hello bookish people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and in today's video we are doing our August TBR. I am so excited for my August TBR because honestly I didn't follow 100% my July TBR, but I did read I feel like a good majority of those books and I had such a great reading month, so I am so excited for the next month. I love the end of the month because I love filming TBR videos. It gets me so hopeful for the next month, and also this is the time where Aardvark and Book of the Month start releasing their hints. I am subscribed to both and that means book shopping is coming soon, and it's like fun book shopping because it's a surprise. Like, what are they gonna pick? I don't know, but we'll figure it out. So let's get into the TBR prompts. I'm gonna be choosing 10 prompts from my TBR bowl. My past couple TBR videos I've been trying to pick from my TBR cart, and specifically I'm gonna be trying to pick from my top shelf on my TBR cart because these are the books that are my top priority. These are the books I've purchased recently that've been on my mind recently. We're gonna try to get these prompts to fit these books. If they don't, that's okay. We'll select something else, but yeah, these are the priority reads. So let's get into it. We're picking 10 prompts and hopefully we get some good ones. Hopefully we get some good ones and build an awesome TBR for August. First one, not real setting. Okay, so I think I mean like a fantasy setting, like a town that isn't a real town. A fictional location is what I mean by not real setting. Maybe a fictional location would have been better wording for this, but honestly I think any of these can really work for this. We have 5 Broken Blades that would work for this. We have so many, but honestly I think for this one I am going to pick Powerless by Lauren Roberts because this is a book I have been really wanting to read, and before I even read it I bought Reckless as well, so I own both of them now. So I would love to just do kind of a binge read reading these back to back. This is a YA fantasy, and I know the like genre of romantasy is like adult, but I feel like most YA fantasy is kind of like a little bit romantasy as well, right? Like, is there any YA fantasy without romance in it? I've just heard lots of great things about this book. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. I think it'll be fun, and it says hunted hunter destined for each other. Honestly, I have no idea what this is about. I don't really care. I'm just gonna go into it blind and have a good YA fantasy time. Prompt number 2, I'm happy with that first one. Let's get another great one. Prompt number 2, one-word title, which I totally could have picked Powerless for that, but the only one up here that is a one-word title is Reckless by Lauren Roberts, so I guess we're just gonna binge both of them back to back this month. So we have Reckless on the back. It does say powerful, so I know this is like a novella that's in between Powerless and Reckless. If you are somebody who has read both of these books, let me know, do you think you have to read Powerful or not? Obviously I have no idea what this is about, but it is like notable that this book is like significantly shorter than Powerless, which I feel like is strange because I feel like normally with YA fantasy or just fantasy in general, the books tend to get bigger as they go on in the series, and this one got smaller. So yeah, Reckless is the book we're picking for one-word title. Prompt number 3, let's keep the good times going. I can't look. A fantasy. I guess we're just in a fantasy mood. A fantasy book. Honestly, I have 2 I could pick from. The one I'm gonna be picking is 5 Broken Blades, which I actually put in my July TBR and I never got around to reading it. So this will be definitely in my August TBR. It's a book that has been on my mind recently. It has been calling me from my TBR cart, and now is the time to do it. It is about these 5 assassins and they go to kill the king, but only one of them can take the spot as king. So it's kind of like them trying to work together, but also they probably are kind of working against each other because they all want that spot. And I love the tagline on the back, let the best liar win. So this is the book I'm picking for my 3rd prompt, a fantasy. Prompt number 4, let's see what we're gonna pick. It says, a new to you author never read before. Okay, I actually have a lot of new to me authors on this top shelf here, and we're gonna go with this author here, and that is Kaylin Bradley. She is the author of The Ministry of Time. Is this her debut novel? Because I kind of believe this is her debut novel. But regardless if it's her debut or not, I have never read her work. So this here is part time travel book, so sci-fi, part spy thriller, and part romance. So it is a blend of genres, and really what's pushing me towards this book is I saw this book featured in Haley Pham's video, and she rated it 5 stars and really loved it. I am nothing if not influenced by my favorite booktubers, so this is what we are picking for August. Moving on to prompt number 5, what are we gonna pick? An author with initials for their published name. Author with initials for the R, so like R.F. Kuang, like R.F. Kuang. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to be picking Murder Road by Simone St. James. There we go, initials in her name. And I am so excited for this. This was also my July TBR, and I bought the book expecting to read it in July. I didn't read it in July, but that's okay because now it is getting moved to August. I will be reading it in August. I am so excited. I love Simone St. James. Both books I have read by her previously, The Sundown Motel and The Book of Cold Cases. Wow, her books are really a mouthful. Both of those I have rated 5 stars. She does 2 things really well, and that is dual timelines and ghosts. Paranormal books with dual timelines, that is what I go to her for. She excels at it, and I always love her stories. So I'm very excited for this one. I don't really know what it is about, but that's okay. I don't need to know what it's about. I can go into it blind and know I'm going to enjoy it because Simone St. James wrote it. Prompt number 6. Small Town, a small town book, a book with a small town setting. For this one, I'm going to be picking The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This is a new cozy fantasy book, and I don't know if this necessarily takes place in a small town, but because it's cozy fantasy, it can't take place in a big city, okay? So it says, a lush cottagecore tale full of stolen spellbooks, unexpected friendships, sweet jams, and even sweeter love. Because this is a cozy fantasy, and that is the cover, we're just going to assume it takes place in a small town. I've been dying for a new cozy fantasy. This released in July, and I can't wait to read it, and I love the sprayed edges. They're just this really pretty purple color. It goes perfectly with the text on the front, and everything about this book is gorgeous, amazing, and I can't wait to read it. Prompt number 7. I think we're doing a good job of clearing off the top shelf of my TBR cart. Prompt number 7. Physical book that's also on KU. Do I have a physical book on here that is also a KU book? I honestly don't know. On KU and see what's going on in the store. We're gonna have to see if I do own a physical book that's also on KU. Oh, 5 Broken Blades is on Kindle Unlimited, so I guess that could work, although I did already pick it. Oh, perfect. One book I do own on here that is on KU, and that is One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I bought this when it came out because I was really excited to read it. I loved Olivia Blake with Atlas 6 and Atlas Paradox, but then I just never read anything else by her again. I haven't read the ending to the Atlas 6 trilogy, and I haven't read this, even though I bought it last year. So, you know, it's time for me to finally read it. I honestly forgot what this book was about, but I remember the end page is stunning. I think it's like a Shakespearean retelling, and I don't know much more than that. But you know what? Honestly, I feel like August is pre-fall, and I feel like Olivia Blake is a fall author. So if I do read this, it'll be at the end of August. And of course, I try to prioritize everything on my TBR. So hopefully we'll read this, and hopefully we'll read it near the end of August as we're really getting into that fall mode. This is a very fantasy heavy month, okay? Because even the Simone St. James, she always got a ghost in there. So it's a little bit paranormal fantasy in there as well. So honestly, I love that because I feel like July was a great reading month for me, and I read a lot of fantasy, or at least the last 2 books I have read this month have been fantasy books, and I absolutely love them. So you know what? I'm excited to continue that fantasy trend in August. Prompt number 8, maybe we can diversify my reading a little bit with a mystery. I have some cozies on here. It says an ebook you own. An ebook I own. So back to my phone. Let's go look what is in my Kindle library. Let's see. Okay, so for this one, let me pop it up on my screen. Let's go to... Okay, I'm going to be reading Veronica Ruiz Breaks the Brink, which is a short story by El Casamano. I want to read this because I have read up to book 3 in the Finlay Donovan series. This is a short story. I believe it was published after book 3, and I also want to read book 4. So I'm kind of getting back into my Finlay Donovan mode. In July, I actually did buy the 4th Finlay Donovan book. So an ebook I own is this short story. I want to read this because I really want to get back into this series in August. Well, not get back into it. I never lost interest, but you know, just get caught up in it with the latest release and the ebook. Prompt number 9. We're getting near the end. What is it going to be? We have a recent purchase, which lucky for me, a lot of these on here are recent purchases. But let's go with this one, and that is going to be The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. This is her latest release. I don't remember when it came out, but I bought it in July. So July had a ton of great book sales. Target and Amazon were both doing buy 2 get 1 free books, so that's why I bought a lot of books in July. This is her latest release. I did not love the Paris apartment, and honestly the guest list, I really love the atmosphere of it. I did rate it 3 stars. So, you know, she's kind of like a hit or miss author for me. I'm still waiting for that 4 or 5 star read, but something about her, like, I keep getting drawn to her, right? Like, I keep wanting to buy her books and read them. Like, I bought recently The Hunting Party. Well, not recently, but past couple months I bought The Hunting Party by her. So she's just an author. She intrigues me. So let's read her latest release. And I don't know why, I'm just kind of obsessed with the name and the cover. And it says it takes place on a luxe coastal retreat where a beautiful setting hides the rot within. It's a twisty murder mystery. Okay, so you know what? I'm excited. I feel like this is just gonna be a fun read. Recent purchase, recent release. Let's go. Hopefully I love it. Prompt number 10. Let's make it a good one. It is the last one. Hopefully it's the best one. What is it gonna be? A 2020 release. A 2020 release? What book on here is a 2020 release? I have to think about this one. Honestly, let's just go on my Goodreads. Let's look at my physical TBR and filter by release date. That seems to be the best. And then we can look at all the books that I own that are a 2020 release. The book I'm going to be picking for this one is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesar. And this is just a YA thriller, slasher, horror, all those things combined into one. I don't really know anything about it. I don't know what it's about. But I think it's about these kids that are in a cornfield and there's a slasher, a killer clown slasher. That's what I assume it to be about. Hopefully that is what it is about. And yeah, last year I kind of got on a little bit of a YA horror kick, meaning I read one and loved it, so then I bought a bunch. I didn't end up reading them, so yeah, now we're gonna read them. And I'm really excited for this one. Olivia Reads a Latte has read this. I think she liked it. And again, nothing if not influenced by my favorite booktubers, so I will be reading this as well. And that is what I'm reading for my 2020 release. I have a pretty full and pretty stacked TBR for this month, plus the short story ebook on my Kindle. So honestly, I feel like it's gonna be a really great reading month. I love all of these books. And I think I'm honestly going to read a majority of these books because again, most of them came from this top shelf, which is the books I was prioritizing. The ones I didn't get to select are these ones here, which honestly I still might read anyway, so I'll just feature them right now so you can kind of see what I'll possibly be reading this month as well, in addition to these books or in place of these books. Because you know what, the TBR, it's just for fun. You know, I do these videos for fun, but I'm not like hardcore have to stick for it. It's just fun to kind of shop your shelves. That's why I like this, because I am so, I wouldn't say addicted, but I do love to buy new books, so this kind of forces me to look at my shelves and shop my shelves, get me re-excited about the books that I own instead of always looking for the new thing that has to come home with me. So, very excited about all these books, can't wait to read them. Subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!